So it occurred to me the other day that you guys just don't know what I'm reading because I have just not talked about it for the last 2 months. So we're gonna do a currently reading video today because I'm reading like 5 things right now. So the first book I'm reading is All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about a girl named Wavy who is pretty mature for her age because she's had to raise her little brother by herself since her father is a drug dealer. And in the beginning of the story, one of her father's thugs, Kellen, actually wrecks his bike in front of her house and then they kind of fall in love. Let me start out by saying this book is weird. And not weird because a little girl and a 24-year-old like each other. No, I'd go as far to say that the author has actively tried to make that part not weird. What's weird is the narrative and structural choices the author has made. For example, with the structure, the book is told from multiple points of view, which isn't a problem, but it's weird because some chapters are told from first person and then others are told from third person, and it's like, why? In fact, there are so many things in this book that just make you go, wait, what? Like one thing happens that I'm not going to tell you because I'm not even sure if it's a spoiler or not, but I'm going to give you an equally shocking example to try to like convey it to you. So let's say Kellen, the 24-year-old, had a kid. He just impregnated a girl 9 months ago and then she just had the kid. It's literally in the back of his mind for like a chapter and then it's just never mentioned again. Those are the kind of weird choices that the author makes. Like in one chapter we found out that Kellen's last name wasn't his real last name. He had to change it because his father kicked him out, and all of that was told in 2 sentences.
It's weird, guys. It's so weird.
And I'm only like 150 pages in and it feels like this has been going on forever. The next book is actually a reread for me, and that is You by Caroline Kepnes. So you guys know those books that you rave about for like a long time and then you reread it and it's like not as good as you thought it was? This is not that. This is still one of the most enjoyable books I have ever read. Like I'd go as far to say that this is the most enjoyable book I've read in 3 years. Again, if you're not caught up for my love for this book, this is about a guy named Joe who stalks this girl named Beck, and while he's stalking her, he tries to have a relationship with her. Firstly, the writing is as twisted and vulgar as it needs to be. Like Caroline Kepnes is a master at getting in the mindset of a psycho, and the stream of consciousness narrative really works for it. As for the characters, every single one is nuanced, flawed, and interesting. And to be honest, it's just plain addicting. Like if you're in a book rut and need something to drag you in, this will be it. The next book I'm reading is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. So most of you have probably read this by now, and my question for you is how? How do people read Sarah J. Maas books? Like I'm not even saying that to be rude, I am literally asking. Like how do you sucker through all of those pages and just finish it? Because I'm about 250 pages in. I might actually be 400 pages in, I'm not even sure. I feel like nothing has happened. Like the only thing that's happened so far is Sarah's trademark thing of where she puts Aelin in the situation of where she needs to ask for help, and then that kingdom that she's asking goes, no, you're too young and inexperienced, we don't want to help you. And then Aelin goes and does something badass, and then the kingdom is like, oh whoa, we woefully misjudged you, please forgive us, my beautiful queen. And Aelin is like, yes, give me all your money. And then that happens like 4 times. Actually, can I just be done talking about this now? Thank you. So the next book I'm reading is The Lovely Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Guys, I don't know what it is about YA fantasy, but I think I'm immune to it. And don't get me wrong, I love writing YA fantasy more than anything, but I just cannot stand reading it. That's not to say that Crooked Kingdom is a bad book, because it's not. And Leigh Bardugo continuously proves herself as one of the best in YA fantasy. Like she's a master of prose and character creation. It's honestly just the plot that takes me so long to get through. So it's really hard for me to just find time to slog through it when I'm already reading so many books. And the final book I'm currently reading is actually Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is of course a reread for me. If you don't know my history with this book, I fell in love with this book in 2012, and it was actually the last book I've ever stayed up all night reading, but I haven't read this since like 2014, and I figured it would be good to reread it for you guys to give you a level-headed review because I'm a very different reviewer than I was back then, so hopefully I can get that to you within the next year or so. So those are the 5 books I'm currently reading. Please let me know what you guys are currently reading down below because I feel like we haven't chatted in like months. Also, if you haven't seen my last video, I'm going to be giving away the girl with the lower back tattoo and the mothers, and yeah, if you haven't entered in that, you should. So that is it for this video. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.